Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Playing mermaids, Coco Gauff takes relaxing dip in stunning Florida waters despite spotting an alligator during canoe ride. The Florida sun cast golden kisses over the mirror-like water as the canoe gently sliced through the mangroves. It was supposed to be a quiet day off, no tennis drills, no cameras, no pressure. Just Coco Gauff, her boyfriend Jalen Sarah, and the wild, unpredictable beauty of their home state. They had paddled far from the buzzing mainland, out where the silence was only broken by rustling leaves and the occasional splash of fish. It was here that Coco Gauff, the reigning queen of American tennis, a phenom with the power of Serena and the poise of Venus, decided to ditch her powerful forehand for a moment and indulge in something completely different. Playing mermaids. Chapter 1. The Escape. It had been a long season. Tournaments blurred into one another. Wins felt amazing, but even champions needed a pause, a breath, a laugh, a reminder that they were human before they were headline makers. Let's do something wild, Coco had told Jalen that morning. But not paparazzi wild. Childhood wild. He raised an eyebrow. Like what? Like play mermaids, she grinned, already lacing her sneakers. We'll go to Silver Springs. Crystal clear water. No coaches. Just you, me, and whatever adventures come our way. That's how they ended up paddling into a forgotten pocket of Florida's natural paradise. Limbs trailing lazily in the water, hearts light, phones tucked away in a dry bag. They weren't ready for what was coming next. Chapter 2. The Gator. The first half hour was serene. Coco's laughter echoed through the cypress trees as she challenged Jalen to paddle races. Birds glided overhead. Turtles sunned themselves on logs. Then came the ripple. Did you see that? Coco said, pointing. Jalen slowed the canoe. Something long and dark skimmed the surface near the reeds. And then the unmistakable eyes, cold, watching, unmoving. Alligator, he muttered. Coco squinted, unconcerned. Small one. Probably just checking us out. That thing is over 6 feet long, he replied. She smiled. So, you've seen my backhand. If it charges, I'll give it the Gauff special. He stared at her. You're not serious. Oh, I'm serious. But don't worry, I won't hit him. I'll just outswim him. Jalen laughed nervously, but inside, he knew. This was classic Coco. Fearless, competitive, and just a little bit crazy. But in the best way. Chapter 3. Mermaid time. They paddled to a quiet bend, far from the gator sighting. Coco stood in the canoe, balancing with athletic grace. Okay, she said. Mermaid time. You're going in? Jalen gasped. She pulled off her shirt, revealing a swimsuit shimmering with scales. Yes, she had come prepared. I told you I was serious. I've always wanted to swim like a mermaid in Florida waters. And today's the day. Before he could object, she dove in, a perfect arc of limbs and laughter. The water welcomed her like it remembered her childhood dreams. Beneath the surface, the sunlight danced through her curls as she moved with elegant strokes. I swear, Jalen muttered. This girl. He followed her in, cautiously, eyes scanning for ripples. But all he saw was Coco, twisting underwater like some half-human, half-ocean creature. He had never seen her look so free. Not on the court. Not under the lights. Not in front of cheering crowds. This was a different Coco. One the world didn't often see. Chapter 4. Flashback. As she floated, Coco closed her eyes and remembered being 8 years old, pretending to be Ariel in her grandmother's pool. Back then, she didn't know what Wimbledon was. She didn't know she'd break records at 15 or carry a nation's hope on her shoulders. Back then, it was just about fun. Splashing. Pretending. Believing she could be anything. She wanted that feeling back. Even for just a few minutes. She flipped underwater, her legs kicking like a mermaid's tail. She imagined seashells in her hair, a coral crown, and schools of fish following her like fans. Suddenly, a voice broke the moment. Babe, something moved over there again. Chapter 5. The second encounter. Jalen pointed nervously toward the bend. Another ripple. Coco emerged from the water, eyes wide. You think it's the same gator? I think we're on his turf. There was a beat of silence. Then she grinned. Perfect. Every mermaid needs a sea monster. He groaned. You are absolutely out of your mind. She laughed, water dripping from her lashes. Come on. Let's head back to the canoe. I've had my magical moment. Together, they climbed in, Coco more gracefully than Jalen, who nearly tipped them over. As they paddled back, the sun dipped low, painting the sky in orange and pink. Behind them, something watched, but never followed. Chapter 6, Reflections. Back on dry land, wrapped in towels and sipping coconut water, Coco scrolled through the GoPro footage Jalen had taken. There's a shot of me swimming right as the gator peeks up. She gasped. That's nightmare fuel. She laughed. That's album cover material. He looked at her, more serious now. You're really brave, you know. Not just on the court. Out here, too. Coco shrugged. I'm not afraid of nature. I'm afraid of missing out on life. You can't always play it safe. Then she smiled gently. Besides, I needed this. Playing mermaids reminded me who I was before the pressure, before the rankings. He nodded. I hope you never lose that. I won't, she said. As long as there's water and imagination, I'll always find my way back. Epilogue, Instagram buzz. That evening, Coco posted a short video to Instagram. Her caption read, Playing mermaids in the wild mermaid medium dark skin tone water wave. Yes, even with a gator nearby. Life's too short not to dive in. Hashtag Florida girl, hashtag no fear, hashtag mermaid mode activated. The internet exploded. Fans cheered her courage. Commentators made jokes about the Gauff Gator challenge. Even fellow athletes chimed in. Serena Williams. I would have swum away like a torpedo. You're braver than me. Naomi Osaka. This is why she's the queen. Simone Biles. I see those flips. Mermaid gymnast crossover soon. But amidst the noise, one thing stood clear. Coco Gauff wasn't just a tennis icon. She was a young woman who could command an arena and dive into gator-filled waters, all in the same week. She was proof that power doesn't always come from winning trophies. Sometimes, it comes from remembering to play, even if you're just pretending to be a mermaid. The sun hung low over Florida's Everglades, its golden rays shimmering on the water like liquid diamonds. It was the kind of afternoon when time slows down, the humidity hugs your skin, and the wind hums lullabies through the mangroves. For most people, it would be a day to stay indoors or lounge on the deck, sipping iced tea. But for Coco Gauff, it was a day to become a mermaid. Fresh off the whirlwind of tennis tournaments and media appearances, Coco found herself craving silence, not the eerie, lonely silence of an empty hotel room, but the symphony of nature, chirping insects, rustling palm fronds, and the gentle splash of paddles meeting water. So she'd escaped, traded rackets for oars, and invited her close friends and younger cousin Layla for an afternoon canoe ride and swim in one of Florida's lesser-known freshwater springs. They set off with laughter echoing off the trees. Coco sat at the front of the canoe, her sun-kissed skin glowing and her thick braids tucked under a blue cap. Layla, no older than 12, sat in the middle like a queen in her canoe throne, pointing out every fish that darted beneath them. Their guide and friend Maya paddled in the back, expertly steering them through a maze of cypress knees and lily pads. The water was glassy and still, tinted the softest shade of teal, with the clarity of a dream. Overhead, Spanish moss danced lazily from trees like nature's own chandelier. The deeper they paddled, the quieter the world became. City noise dissolved into the rustle of wilderness. And then came the gator. It was Maya who spotted it first, a dark shape skimming the surface some 50 feet away. Whoa, she muttered. Gator at 10 o'clock. Coco stiffened. Like an actual gator? Yep. Looks like a 6-footer. Just cruising. Coco turned, her eyes narrowing. Sure enough, the unmistakable silhouette of a young alligator floated by with disinterest, its ridged back breaking the waterline like a prehistoric submarine. It didn't come close, didn't lunge, didn't do anything but swim. Calm, regal, indifferent to humans. Yet the sight pulled a ripple of caution through the boat. Layla gasped and clutched Coco's arm. We're gonna die. No, we're not, Coco said with a smile. trying to reassure both her cousin and herself. "We're just playing mermaids. Even mermaids have sea monsters, right? Mermaids don't fear gators." After the encounter, Maya steered the canoe farther into a spring-fed lagoon, a safe haven known for its clarity and gentle current. The gator was long gone, and the spot was perfect. Clear water, soft bottom, no boaters in sight. It was secluded and serene, and it called to them like a secret waiting to be discovered. "Okay," Coco declared, standing up cautiously in the canoe, arms stretched to the sky. "Who's ready to play mermaids?" Layla's face lit up. "You mean it?" "Always. Come on." Within minutes, the girls had abandoned the boat and slipped into the cool embrace of the spring. The water enveloped them like a second skin, cool, buoyant, and inviting. Coco wore a turquoise one-piece that shimmered in the sunlight, and Layla had a sequin swim top and matching goggles that she swore made her swim faster. Maya stayed back in the canoe, amused and keeping watch. They dove and twirled beneath the surface, laughter bubbling up like champagne. Coco held her breath and performed slow somersaults underwater, her movements as fluid and graceful as a real sea creature. For the first time in weeks, she wasn't Coco the tennis star. She was Coco the mermaid queen, guardian of Florida's secret waters. She and Layla made up stories as they swam, of sunken kingdoms, dolphin friends, enchanted coral reefs, and underwater treasure guarded by wise turtles. They picked water lilies and wore them like crowns. Coco even found a smooth, heart-shaped stone she insisted was a mermaid's amulet. Layla shrieked in delight every time Coco appeared beside her in the water like she'd risen from a spell. "There's magic here," Coco said, her voice dreamy, floating on her back and watching the sky. "You think mermaids are real?" Layla asked. Coco turned to her cousin, splashing gently. "If we believe they are, that's good enough. Sometimes imagination is the only real thing." Moments beyond the court. Later, as the sun began to dip and the sky turned a lavender hue, they climbed back into the canoe. Dripping wet, skin glowing, hearts full. Maya handed them towels and some fresh mango slices from the cooler. "You two are absolutely wild, playing mermaids in gator country." Coco grinned. That gator had no interest in us. Probably thought, "Oh, just some mythical creatures passing through." They all laughed, the sound echoing through the trees. As they floated back toward the dock, Coco grew quiet, watching the reflections on the water. She thought of the courts, the pressure, the expectations. It wasn't that she didn't love tennis. She did with all her heart. But in that moment, she understood that being legendary on the court didn't mean she had to surrender her sense of wonder. Sometimes greatness wasn't measured in trophies or rankings. Sometimes it was in the way you turned a spring into a kingdom, a splash into a ballet, a childhood game into a sacred ritual. Reflections of a mermaid. That night, Coco posted a few photos, carefully selected snapshots that captured the essence of the day without giving away its location. One showed her underwater, arms outstretched like wings, sunlight piercing through from above. Another had Layla mid-laugh, flower crown tilted, joy frozen in motion. She captioned it, "We saw a gator, but we played mermaids anyway. Sparkles mermaid medium dark skin tone blue heart, hashtag Florida Magic, hashtag Gauff Girls." The post went viral in minutes. Fans loved seeing Coco outside of tennis, being playful and poetic. Some wrote that she inspired them to reconnect with nature. Others shared their own mermaid memories. But Coco didn't post it for the likes. She did it for the reminder that even champions need moments of pretend, of play, of peace. That magic wasn't a distraction from reality. It was a necessary part of it. Epilogue. Once a mermaid, always a mermaid. Weeks later, at a press conference ahead of the U.S. Open, a reporter asked her what she did to relax between tournaments. Coco paused, smiled, and said, "Sometimes I play mermaids in Florida Springs, even when there are gators around." The room laughed, thinking she was joking. But in her heart, she knew the truth, that deep down, where pressure and noise couldn't reach her, Coco Gauff was still floating beneath a moss-draped canopy, sunlight painting her skin, imagination wide open. A mermaid at heart, unbothered by monsters.